Awesome. We are recording. We're over 75 people. I'm extremely excited. One of my favorite quotes from that song is making a living out of living. Guys, every single day, um, life is meant to be a vacation. If you're not doing what you're passionate about, what you love, my friend, you are in a very bad place. And I think that's one of the most amazing things that we have here. Is not each and every single one of us came to this company to become a professional day trader, to become a professional marketer. We came here to take advantage of the vehicle to actually allow us to pursue what we're passionate about. And guys, I'm super excited because today's call is going to be not super short and sweet, but very powerful and very concise, very to the point. And we have a massive, massive announcement that Mike is going to talk about in the next 30, 40 minutes or so. And I did this training in person over the course of 2 hours, right? So I'm going to condense this from a 2-hour training down to 30, 40 minutes. I just think it's really important, and it's been something that I've been working on over for a while now. And it comes down to awareness, right? Being aware of where you're at, who you're with, what you're doing, where you're going, where have you been? Awareness, that key word, that's been a word that I've just been constantly think about, is understanding what am I doing right now and why am I doing it, right? Who's around me and why? Because the people that are around me are simply just people that I've attracted, right? The results that I'm having is just results that I've attracted, right? And it's not like, oh, I wish, right, that I have this. Is because it's what I'm becoming aware of is what I'm doing, and what I'm doing is giving me the desired results, right? So if you're not the results you want, let's look back at awareness, right? I think this is such a special moment in time. And for those who are on the Matt Rosa call, really got to understand this briefly on why I believe this is the most important time in the industry, in your career, and for this company, why the Chairman Elite believe this is the most important time, why all top leaders are focusing heavily over the next 4 months, just going all in. And I'm not talking about, what we did in 2019, what we did in 2018, what we did in 2017. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about going all in on everything. Not just I'm talking about in your spiritual walk. I'm talking about in your career. I'm talking about in your business. I'm talking about in your skill sets. I'm talking about in your relationships. Going all in over the next 4 months and really just setting the new support level, the new expectation, the new normal, right? Because I feel like doing it by yourself, it's possible, but it's difficult. But the fact that we have 80 people on this call, there's going to be hundreds of people that are going to watch the recording, shows that it's even more possible when you surround yourself with like-minded individuals. And that's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing on a weekly basis. That's exactly what we're doing on these webinars. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in the next, less than 90 days when we're all in London, or a little bit over 90 days when we're all in New York. And so I'm super excited to talk about the 2020 vision. You guys have heard me talk about it before, the importance of timing, right? December, you have the most acquisition of customers. January, you have the most acquisition of distributors. We have the promo that I'm going to be talking about at the end of this starting next week. Then you have January where your business doubles. You have February that push to London. March, you have the momentum. April, you have the stabilization, the little bit retracement, new support level, and continued momentum again into the next whatever it may be. And so being aware of where you're going in 2020, and a lot of you have already started. A lot of you, your 2020 started 2 months ago, right? A lot of you, your 2020 is going to start tonight. And if it hasn't started yet, that's perfectly okay, because we're going to declare and make it possible tonight with all the information that we're going to go over. Now, I know in an hour, we have the social media training with Drake and I. It's going to be difficult to focus on this, right? After this, but I really recommend the things that we go over in the notes you take tonight. And I recommend if you've never taken notes before, or if you've ever taken notes before on a call, this is the time to turn off your phone. This is the time to turn the TV off. This is the time to tell your boyfriend, your girlfriend to be quiet. This is the time to put the dog in the other room. This is the time to focus, because your focus level is completely going to determine the result that you're going to get out of this exercise. And I wish this was 2 hours long. Trust me, I wish we were doing this in person. But that's why I can't wait for convention, because that's when we get to come together. That's when we get to do those kind of trainings. That's when we truly get to grow. But we're going to start with this, and we're going to make it happen. So guys, Mike and I, we invested in this planner, and it's called This Is My Era. I'm not I don't get any affiliate links from this. I don't make any money off selling it or anything. But I'm going to share this planner with you guys at the end of the call and in the chat as well, with the recording, so we're able to purchase this. So we're able to do this. Now, you can do it without it. A lot of you have different planners. I just recommend this. I recommend this one because it's going to correlate exactly to what we're talking about. Guys, I hate planners. I freaking hate them. I hate them so much. My whole entire life, ever since I was young, I've done everything, whether it was in Microsoft Outlook, whether it was in Google Calendar, whether it was just sticky notes and notes on my computer. I've done everything digitally, but I've never been able to truly backtrack what I've been doing to determine if my actions are actually working, right? And yeah, I know the whole entire Chicago team and Illinois team are about to have these. I'm super excited. So this planner has really shifted the way I think and the way I do things because it's allowed me to really organize myself next level. And I take a lot of pride in organization. As you guys know, 25% of success is organization. If you are not organized, you are losing over 25% of potential success. 25% of potential success comes down just to organization. Right? I remember Jason doing this training. He talks about the 4 different key components to success. And when he brought up organization, it blew my mind because so many people, I understand why they're not getting the results they have because they just flow. They're not tracking. They're not goal planning. They don't have goals. They don't have action plan. They're not doing these little things. And so I'm going to dive deep into this because we can get caught into theory. We can get caught into a lot of different things. But I just want to jump in and do this. And I'm going to ask you guys 3 questions, right? 3 questions. These are the 3 questions you're going to write down. I'm going to read out my answers to you. You're not going to have time to work on them right now. But I'm going to tell you how Mike and I came up with these answers. I have a completely different one than Mike does, and you're going to have a completely different one than I do. But I want you to see where my mind is at. So the first question is, right, is what does your era, E-R-A, your era, what does your era look like, feel like, and sound like? What would you be doing? Right? So what does your era look like, feel like, and sound like? What would you be doing? Anyone taking notes digitally, please type that question in the chat for me. That's question number 1. Question number 2 is, why is this vision important to you? Why is this vision? You can do / affirmation. I read it as an affirmation. Why is this vision, affirmation important to you? Number 3, who or what inspires you? Now, I want to put into perspective really quick. These are loaded questions. When Mike and I were in Punta Cana, for the last day that we were there, we stayed a day after on purpose. We stayed a day after because for the 4 days we were there with the chairmen, we wanted to be in the moment. We wanted to be in the experience. We wanted to, actually see, feel, touch, and just experience everything while we were there. We stayed a day after to do this, to do exactly what I'm talking about right now. For 1 hour, literally 1 hour, Mike and I played, I think it was just lo-fi music in the background, and we wrote down just topics. We just we wrote down topics, we wrote down thoughts, we started backboarding off each other, right? So if you have roommates, if you live in a trade house, if you're currently together, do this together after, right? Do this together tonight. Write down your thoughts, think about this, because this is going to determine what the next 90 days looks like. These 3 answers will determine what the next 90 days look like, and you determine the reality of them, right? A lot of people say, my goal is Chairman 10, but in reality, I'll probably hit 2K. My goal is P1K, but I'll probably get 600 by London. No, you don't have a goal of Chairman or P1K. Your reality goal that you backstepped on is your true goal because that's what you believe you're capable of doing. If you just said my goal is Chairman 10, you would have Chairman 10. Now, would it happen on the timeline? Probably not. Who knows? My goal was to hit Chairman 10 in 3 months. It took me 3 years. But did my goal ever change? No, it wasn't, I'm going to hit Chairman 10, but realistic. No, I'm going to hit Chairman 10. Every time the date got messed up, well, I'm going to hit Chairman 10 on this date. It didn't matter. My goal was focused, right? You determine this. So these answers are important. Don't just lackadaisically do this. Do this seriously. Let me read you mine. So question number 1, right? I am so happy and grateful now that I am Chairman 25. In the next era, we have produced 4 Chairman 10s and acquired 1,250 customers. There is daily events and regionals every month. I will travel more and impact abroad. The team is touring simultaneously, and new QC family members join daily. I feel abundant, blessed, and worthy. I surround myself with influence and receive only positive information. I am all in and the top recruiter. I obtain, train, and retain. I am Chairman 25. I need 4 chairmen. There's events happening daily. I'm traveling. People are joining the family. I'm feeling abundant, blessed, worthy. I surround myself with influence. I only receive positive information. And I want to talk about that information one for a second after this. I'm all in. I'm recruiting. I'm training. I'm retaining. I'm not just bringing people in. I'm training them and I'm keeping them. Right? I messaged the leadership chat today and I said, I have personally signed 103 people into IM. And I don't even think that's accurate. I think it's more because it was just the unit level. That doesn't mean people that I've signed in place. Like that's just level 1. I've signed over, let's put it this way. I've signed over 105 people, minimum, probably 150. But right now, I only have, I believe, 15 or 16 active customers. So what did that mean? What did that mean? That means I was lacking in the training and retaining. Now, not everyone's going to stay. Duh. That's just normal. Typically, the number is 1 in 7 is what I've heard. I think that's extremely low, but not everyone's going to stay. That's okay, right? But I had to put a focus on training and retaining. I had to realize these things. I had to be transparent with myself. Why am I only receiving positive information? It's not that bad things are going to happen. It's how I react and accept the bad information. Remember, because information is 3 words. Information being the action word. What goes in my mind forms my actions. So every time I'm receiving something, I'm only thinking positively what this is going to do for me. Right? You guys see how I took a lot of time into that? I took a lot of thought process into that. That's my daily affirmation. Every morning I read it. Right? Why is this vision important to you? And this is just being me. This is just me being upfront with you guys. Normally, I would take, I gave the other team, I gave them 15 to 20 minutes to just write things down, right? Just think about it. But I'm just telling you what I'm thinking. Don't copy what I'm thinking. Maybe help you, but be you, right? This is for you. Maybe your next area is only P600. You want $5,000 in the trading account. You want to be in the best physical shape. Whatever it may be, it's got to be you, right? It has to be you. Number 2, right? Why is this vision important to you? This vision and affirmation is important because it creates financial abundance in the lives of thousands. My mom will retire in 2021 and be able to do what makes her happy. This vision will set people free and bring them to fulfillment. It will create a psychotic belief which will trickle into the lives of millions, leaving this planet positively impacted. Why is everything that I'm doing important? Why is everything that I'm doing important? I want to impact the masses. I want to help my mother. I want to create psychopaths like Drake talks about, right? I want to leave a positive impact on this world, right? Just leave a positive impact. That's why it's important to me. Number 3, who or what inspires you? Mike, he did this completely different. Mike wrote down people's names, put their Instagram numbers, put their cell phone numbers. I think that's genius. This is what I wrote. I said, I am inspired by my why and the progression of others worthy ideals. The success of others is my biggest motivation. Therefore, I must be willing to go all in for the success of others in order to completely fulfill the blessing of this era, right? Read that a little bit weird. I apologize, right? So I said, in order for this to happen, it's nothing about me. I have to be willing to go all in for those thousands of people in order for anything to happen. For anything to happen, right? Guys, seriously, take time and determine what the next 90 days are going to look like. Determine, dictate, declare, right? Nothing else. No wish-wash, no on the fence, no maybes, no realisticallys, nothing, right? This is something that I learned I believe, who was it? It was Austin Godsey. And this is, a lot of people, and this is transparent again, a lot of people chant chairman, 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 or chairman 500, right? There's over 400 people in the Telegram. We only have, 100 people on here. There's over 2,000 people on the Discord. We only have 100 people on here. It is free to chant. It is free to yell. It is free to type. It is free to speak. It is the belief, the true belief that you feel inside, that not what you're saying, but the true belief that you feel inside that's going to determine what you do. Austin Godsey asked me, he said, what do you feel like? And I said, I feel like Chairman 100. He's like, I feel like Chairman 100. He said, why not 5? Why not 250? Why not a million? I said, because I don't feel that rank yet. He said, perfect. Don't say anything else. You have to feel. You have to feel it. Guys, what you feel is okay. Tim said Chairman 25. I got to write Chairman 25. Tim said impact thousands. I got to write impact thousands. No. What you feel, right, is going to determine exactly what you're going to get. That's it. It comes down to feeling. I think my biggest paradigm shift, when I do my end of the year recap with Mike, and we look back at our year, we go month by month, we go how the team progressed. We did this last year as well, right? When I do this, I think the biggest thing I'm going to learn from this year is feeling and belief. Two of the most simple concepts in the world, right? It's childhood emotion. Those were the two things that shifted my business. It was the belief level that anything is possible, and all I had to do was feel that something was going to happen and it was going to occur. And this isn't prosperity gospel. This isn't, some, fairy dust, some whatever you want to call it, right? This is just truth. This is what the most successful people in the world are saying. This is what my mentors are saying. This is what their mentors are saying. So who am I to question the person who have the results that I want? Who am I to question? Because it's worked. You just have to follow the process. Now let's move on because we went over that for a very long time. The next thing is mastering your goal list, right? Mastering your goal list. And what this book does is it has you write down 10 goals that you want to accomplish over the next 1 to 3 years. Over the next 1 to 3 years. And let me tell you why this is important. Because there's an amazing story by Richard Branson. And every year he owns Virgin Mobile, hundreds of other, companies. No matter what you think about the guy, what he does on his free time, that's a whole other conversation. But he prioritizes 3 goals a year. And he does not do any activity in business outside of what's going to accomplish those 3 goals. There was a motivational speaking or something like that. There was a company that reached out to him, reached out to his assistant and said, hey, we are going to write Richard, Mr. Branson, a $100,000 check to come speak. Or it was like a $50,000 check to come speak for an hour, right? The assistant asked Richard if he wants to do it. He said no. He said, okay. She called back. He's not going to do it. They said, we will write $100,000. She asked Richard. He said no. They said $200,000. She asked. He said no. They said $500,000. She asked. He said no. They said, we will write a blank check. He can determine how much money that he wants. This is how badly they want him to speak for 1 hour. Number one, it's got to feel pretty good to be that, that worthy and that capable to speak like that, right? But number two, he calls them and he says, I am flattered by your offer, and I am not saying that you are not going towards something worthy. What I am saying is this is currently not my priority, and I am currently focused on getting these 3 things accomplished for the year. Next year, if your mission aligns with what my goals are, I would love to come speak for your original offer. He was focused on those 3 activities. We yell chairman, we yell 6-figure trader, we yell retire our mom, we yell all our goals out loud. But if you reflect and you look back this week, this month, this quarter, this year, how many of your activities were actually productive towards having a realization of any of those goals? Was playing the games going to get you there? Was watching the TV going to get you there? Was going out and partying going to get you there? Was anything that do you get what I'm saying here? He prioritized his goals. And so I'm looking at this I looked at this in one way. I said, awesome, 1 to 3 years.
I did a couple goals in 3 months, a couple goals for a year, a couple goals for 2, a couple for 3. And the cool thing about this is what I told the Chicago team. I said, this can fluctuate. This can change. Who you are now is not who you're necessarily going to become, and what you want and what you desire can change, right? Your body is a full-on menu. Your life is a full-on menu. It's like going to a restaurant. Sometimes you want the burger, sometimes you want the steak, sometimes you want the rice, sometimes you want the beans. It's going to change, but you're in control of everything that you're ordering. But for right now, I wrote down my 10 goals. I said Chairman 100, right? By the end of 2020. I said best physical shape of my life by the end of Q1 2020. I said retire my mom and make sure that her 2 businesses are officially open by the end of 2020. I said 7 figures in IM residual by July 2020 for my birthday. I said open a traditional business by June of 2020. That's actually probably going to be moved to 2021 after a discussion I had with one of my partners about focus, timing, and energy expenditures, right? Things change, right? I said 40 countries visited, and I'm going to go into that in a second and show you why this is powerful. I said 5 tax-free accounts, my credit business automated, 6 figures in conservative investments. I'm not talking Forex. I'm talking life insurance. I'm talking annuities. I'm talking, high yield savings. I'm talking 6, 8, 10% a year, things working for 40, 50, 60 years now down the road, right? I'm talking Amazon automation. I wrote down 10 things where my mind is at. I said, okay, this is a part of my career. This is part of my health. This is part of my family. This is part of my social life, right? I said in the notes, this is a 1 to 3 year vision, but every goal is already accomplished. The time just has to catch up. It is done. This is why this is so important for you to categorize and reach out farther than a couple months. Write a 10-year goal. Let me tell you why. Because your yearly goals, right, your 3-year goal is done by accomplishing 1-year goal. Your 1-year goal is done by accomplishing quarterly goals. Your quarterly goals are done by accomplishing monthly goals. Your monthly goals are done by accomplishing weekly goals. Your weekly goals are done by accomplishing daily goals. So what I did and why this book was so amazing is now it created a SMART goal worksheet, right? SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Exactly, all fractal. So what is a SMART goal? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Someone taking digital notes, please post that in there for me. So now what I did was I took those goals and I said, okay, I have goals. They're written down. What goals do I need to focus on over the next 3 months that are going to lead to not only, I'm going to put the link of the book later. It's called I'll give it to y'all later. I don't want you guys distracted looking it up online right now, right? What 3 goals or, what quarterly goals over the next 90 days all the way up to London are going to help me accomplish my yearly and so forth goals. And so, for example, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm Chairman 25 on February 14, 2020. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm in the best physical, spiritual, and holistic shape of my life by February 27, 2020. I am so happy and grateful now to have 5 tax-free accounts by March 1st, 2020. I am so happy and grateful now that I have visited 10 countries by March 1st, 2020. These small 90-day goals are leading to my big ones. Remember, I talked about tax-free accounts. I talked about spiritual development. I talked about going Chairman 100. I got to go Chairman 25 first, then Chairman 50, then Chairman 100. I talked about visiting 40 countries. This was a goal. This was something when I heard Jason speak and he told me he visited, it was like 45 or 50 countries over the past 3 years. I said, I want to visit 40 countries over the next 2 years or whatever it was on here. 40 countries over the next 3 years. Over the next 3 years. That goal got me excited. I was like, damn, that's crazy. That's experience. That's impact. That goal got me excited. So what happened was all of a sudden, Mike says, hey, Nancy and I are going to Europe. We're going to go to 10 countries in 30 days. Do you want to come? And I said, well, shit, let me see if I can convince my girlfriend to quit her job. Well, shit, she quit her job. Well, shit, we're going to Europe from January 27th to March 3rd, obviously leading to London. Then I'm in New York for 6 days. Then we have the Latin America tour. Well, shit, it happened. It happened because I said I wanted to do it. I didn't know how. I didn't even plan it. I was like, I just want to do it. I don't know how I was going to. And then Mike's the one that did it. Right? And then look, this is the coolest thing. It says, what area of this life is you're in? What date did you write this goal? What is your target date? And when did you actually achieve it? Because some you're going to achieve before, some you're going to achieve later. And then it says, write down the specific action steps to achieve this goal. Look at this. I don't have these written down yet. I'll give you just a blank example. The SMART goal. What are the action steps that you have to take? What is the target date to get that done? What is the priority? And then ask at the bottom, why is this important? Why is this goal important to you? Remember, because action is not taken if there is no underlining why attached. It's the same reason why people quit the business. They don't know why they're doing the business. If they want to retire their mom, they'll find 100 other opportunities. If they want to play video games more, they'll find 100 other opportunities. There has to be a why. Why network marketing? Why day trading? Why QC? Why Trade House? Why I Am Mastery Academy? Why this goal? Because once the why is determined, once there's an underlining why, the actions can be taken. Now you know why you're doing it, so you are going to do it. This literally, this is why I'll use people that are overweight for an example, right? I'm not in the best shape of my life, right? But people that are overweight, most people who are overweight don't go to the gym till they almost have diabetes, till they have a heart attack, till an artery is clogged, they have a stroke, till something bad happens, till their why becomes big enough. They're about to lose their family. They're about to lose their life. They're about to lose their job. So don't wait till you hit rock bottom, knowing that you got to get the goal accomplished anyways, right? Just know why you got to do it now, then create the actual action steps to do it, right? Because you can't go to bed and pray and ask God to give you a Lamborghini, wake up, and then go play Madden in the morning. It just ain't going to work. You can't ask God to give you positive influence. You can't ask God to put you in a 7-figure network. You can't ask God, you can't ask him for anything and then go do dumb shit. Straight up. Complete honesty. Complete honesty. So you have to know the why. You have to know your goals. Guys, this is just the goal setting part. Man, I haven't got to the organizational part. I'm about to go into that now. I'm going to try to get this done really quick. After you do that, you have to plan out your month. David Amitier told me, he said, I will not speak to a leader nor game plan with a leader if the next 3 months are not already planned. Because if they don't have a plan, what are we game planning? If they don't know where they're going, how are we going to talk about it? Right? So this is the craziest thing. Right here, it doesn't have to be packed. I just have a word on each day. Days I don't have words, okay, that's fine. That's fine. But why is this important? And Mike taught me this. You know, I had this paradigm. I was super positive about December, but I was like, man, like, I don't know how many webinars we should do, you know, how many events we should do. And Mike was like, Tim, 3 days out of December is holidays. Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's. That leaves you with 28 days of work, 28 days of grind. A lot of people don't get stuff done because they have excuses. You have excuses. You don't know when to do the work because you're just letting life flow. This is how people get stuck in what we call the rat race. It's the same exact example, but in your business. Do you know when your events are? Do you know when your conventions are? Even if you're by yourself right now, right? Okay, I'll use the Tennessee guys, for example. There's a couple guys out in Tennessee. They got a trade house. They're living together now. They literally all traveled from across the U.S., said, F it, we're going to live together and just send it. We're going to make it happen, right? They don't have the 12 events a week in Dallas. They don't have the 3 to 4 or 5 events a week in Chicago. They don't have that yet. But imagine, right, I'm speaking to you guys. This is going to help you out. Imagine if you still planned your month with what you have leading up to what you want. Because if you plan the month, you'll get the 5 events a week in Chicago. You'll get the 12 events a week in Dallas. You'll get everything. But you have to start with the plan first. So plan your month. Because if you don't plan the month, you're not accomplishing the quarter. You're not accomplishing the year. And if you don't plan the month, how are you going to accomplish the week? Which is what I'm going to talk about next, the weekly review. Guys, you got to keep breaking it down. We're breaking it down here. Just like how Mike educates you guys, top-down analysis, just like how each and every single one of us are watching Trade House every single day, what do? They're breaking it down piece by piece by piece so it all makes sense so you can understand the root reason for why the market is moving the way it is. I'm showing you to understand the root reason why you're getting the results you're getting, why your life is the way it is. Right? This is the root reason here. Right? We're on weekly, then we're going to get to daily, then we're done. Right? The weekly overview. Every Sunday, I know my next week. Every Sunday, I reflect. I look, okay, what did I do really well in? Right? What were my wins for the week? And then not only what were my wins, what were my lessons learned? I don't lose. None of us are losers here. We just learn a lot of lessons. Right? So you have to reflect, because if no reflection, no growth. Right? Inflection, whatever you want to call it, whether you're reflecting in or you're reflecting out, there has to be some type of reflection, because that's going to determine what's going to happen this upcoming week, right? So this is cool because now it says, all right, we've gone through our top 10 goals with our overall vision and affirmation. We now have our quarterly goals. Now what do we have to do on a weekly basis to get those quarterly goals accomplished? What do we have to do this week aligned with what's happening this week in the monthly overview? And what are our priorities? What are our 5 priorities for this week? Goal 1, goal 2, goal 3, goal 4, goal 5, right? And what are the action steps necessary to get it done? You want to get more into the gym? All right, action step. Plan out the week on Sunday to determine when I'm free or when I can wake up earlier or what I can do, right? Action step, finish a book. Okay, determine in my weekly schedule when you have to create action steps, at least one. Some will require 1, some will require 2, some will require 5, right? But action steps, action steps, action steps. Guys, we talk a lot about the spiritual side of success. That's 95% of it. But in order to receive completion, you have to do the 5% of action. And that sounds funny because I talk a lot about technical. I talk a lot about action. Why do I talk a lot about those things? Because I just naturally believe in doing those things. I talk about it because the spiritual side's already done. The spiritual side's already done. Now it's my part, the hard part, right? Me, right? Me, that's the hard part. So I have to have the action steps. Do that weekly review. Do that weekly review. And you guys are going to see this in the book. I'll show you an example of what it looks like on a blank page, right? Do the weekly review. I don't know if you guys can see this really well. Your reflection, wins, lessons learned, taking action, prioritizing, action steps, etc. You're going to see this in the book. There's a whole entire YouTube video. Guys, they're $25. You buy 4 of them. You get them from 20 each. Find 3 other ladies, 3 other guys to do this with. Buy the book. $20. Invest into yourself. If you're an IBO, it's a deduction. Actually, if you're a customer as well, it's a deduction. I learned about that. I will do a tax class sometime this month, I promise. But I am not your financial advisor. Remember that. Now, daily. Daily, daily, daily. Daily, right? Mornings. Your morning is everything. You guys ever stub your toe and just have a really shitty day? You ever just wake up late and have a really shitty day, right? Your morning is everything. Your subconscious mind is most receptive in the first 15 minutes of waking up. The first 15 minutes. You have a small gap, a very small gap to control everything, right? First 15 minutes. Don't look at the phone. Don't turn on the news, right? Affirm, right? Do you have a vision board by you? Do you have a vision environment around you? When I wake up, I either am waking up Jordan or I'm looking at my big chairman board that's above my closet. The first 15 minutes. What are you thankful for? 5 things instantly. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to breathe. I'm thankful to walk. I'm thankful to have another day. I'm thankful for this opportunity. It could be anything. Just 5 quick ones right when you wake up. Because once you do that, now you can determine your priorities for the day. Now you can determine your priorities for the day. Because now you have a positive outlook. Now you have a positive outlook. Something on Nino's call today that really, and guys, if you're not hopping on those calls every morning, 8 a.m., Monday through Friday, personal development or with Nino, man, those are fire. By the way, he's partnering with Bob Proctor. If you guys didn't know, Bob Proctor is a part of I Am. That's the whole reason you're seeing his huge push of I Mindset. It's the whole reason he's doing a big promo call, I believe on Thursday at like noon Central Time. Go to imindset.com. Sign up for free. It's an hour-long training at noon. Recommend it. Nug. See, that's why you got to be on these calls. There's Nugs right here, right? So, right, he said something. He was like, man, he's like, my goals, my actions, just the way I think is completely different after affirmations. He says, before I even think about what I want to do, I just start talking about what I'm grateful for. I remember this morning, I had an amazing day. It was raining outside, but for some reason, I felt like it was warm. Nothing could go wrong. The gym was amazing. I just had an amazing day. I got so much stuff done today. An insane amount of stuff done today. Just because the way I started my day, right? So I go through what I'm thankful for. I find 3 priorities. Remember, 3 is the magic number. Find 3 priorities for the day. I make my to-do list. I write down my affirmation. And in the evening, I reflect. Right? In the evening, I reflect. And you guys can see this on here. Just in another example, right? You guys are going to see this in the book. I'm not even going to show my screen anymore. You'll see in the book. Now, here's the last thing before I have Mike jump on really quick, is scheduling out your day. 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whenever you start, I recommend earlier the better. That's you time. I personally do not like doing webinars before noon. Right? I wake up at 5 o'clock typically, sometimes 5:30. My goal is always 4:30. Doesn't really happen that often. Typically it's 5:30, right? Brennan's a savage. She's up at 3:30 every single morning. The Wisconsin squad, you guys are insane. I don't know how you do it. It's very hard for me, right? But my schedule every day at minimum is 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., right? From 5 a.m. to noon, I don't like doing webinars. That's Tim time. Tim time. I spend 5 to 7 hours a day on Tim. Why? Because if Tim doesn't grow, no one grows. If I don't read, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. If I don't study, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Right? If I don't go to the gym, I'm going to be unhealthy. If I don't get my errands done, I'll never get my errands done. Because let me tell you, my schedule's packed. I don't have time to go do laundry, time to go grocery. I got to do that shit in the morning. Tim time. Right? That's my schedule. The best thing you can do is schedule. Find out what your constants are. Cool, you work from 9 to 5. Can you wake up at 5:30 and hit the gym from 6 to 7, get home, have a good breakfast, read a book, take a shower, then go to work? At 5, get home at 6, have a good meal, right? Start prospecting from 6 to 9. Start going on Instagram. Start scheduling one-on-ones and 3-ways. And then from 10 to 11, 10 to midnight, start studying how to trade when everyone else is going to sleep so you're not bugging people. Because remember, there's trading hours, there's business hours. That's a whole other conversation. We've talked about that in the past, right? Schedule yourself. This is the best thing you can do, I promise you. On Sunday, write down your constants for the whole entire week. Look at your priorities for the week, and then fill in the blanks. And then fill in the blanks. Because when you leave massive gaps open, and I do this all the time too. Not all the time, but I still do it. When you leave gaps open, you tend to not do anything. You tend to not do anything. I'm just being honest. I see a note in my page. I see Zach Peterson on here. I have a note. See, I look back. I wouldn't have remembered this if it wasn't for the book. Zach, I need to be on a call with Randall. Randall was supposed to sign up the 21st of November. My dude, group chat me. Right? See, I can look back now. I wouldn't remember that shit if it was just on a note. Great example. I forgot what I was saying. Beyond the point. Right? Fill in the blanks. Oh, yeah. So if you have these large blocks open, you begin to not have to do anything. You begin to do activities. You begin to do busy work. So many people, right? It's like when people go to the Starbucks, these go to the Starbucks sessions and they're grinding. They're grinding. It's on Instagram. But no, you're scrolling. You're not messaging nobody. You're drinking your drink and you're laughing. You're goofing around. You're sitting on the toilet, scrolling through Facebook. You're laying on the couch. Oh, I'll watch one more episode. I got nothing to do right now. No, you don't have nothing to do. You just don't know what to do. Right? It's like when you're bored, you eat. In business and in life, because they're the same. Life is business. Business is life. Right? When you don't know what to do, you don't do shit. You just don't do anything. You end up doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. You guys ever go to the fridge and then walk to the pantry realize there's nothing to eat, but you go back to the fridge and the pantry one more time just in case something appeared. That's what you do when you're on social media. You keep pressing down, but nothing changes. Nobody's life is changing. Nobody's that important. Nobody's doing anything amazing. Let me tell you why. Because it's irrelevant, because you're not doing anything amazing. Who cares what Tyler's doing? Who cares what Ryan's doing? It's what you're doing. It's a waste of time. Right now, your goals may not be that big. You may only need an hour, 2 hours a day. That's okay. Maybe those are big goals for you. Maybe you're in this transition, whatever it may be, but you have to schedule. You have to schedule. You have to know your 6 a.m. to your 11 p.m. or your 8 a.m. to your 9 p.m. Whatever your day frame is, you have to know that, because this is going to matter. Because guys, guess what? Just because you're in IM, it doesn't mean that family time isn't important anymore. It doesn't mean that your college studies isn't important anymore. It doesn't mean that your job isn't important anymore. Those things are still important, but you have to schedule them, and so you do it properly, right? You have to do well at your job so you can still pay the bills, so you can still learn how to trade. You have to spend time with your family so they want to spend time with you. You have to spend time on you so you're able to help others. You have to do things well in everything. It's not just I'm in the business now. I gotta schedule my 6 a.m. to my 11 p.m. all I am. No. Guys, I would rather each of you focus for 1 to 3 hours a day on this and on you. 1 to 3 hours. Maybe 4 a day max. Guys, remember, part-time is 20 hours a week. 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. That's part-time. That's part-time, right? A lot of us say we're doing IM part-time, but we only do this for 5 to 7 hours a week. That's not part-time. That's you're 12 years old and you go visit your dad's work and he has you put staples in the stapler gun and he pays you $20 for showing up. That's what that is, right? 1 to 3 hours of focused work a day. I promise you, you're going to do so much better than these people that are grinding 10, 12 hours a day and not doing shit. Because you're scheduled. Because you are freaking scheduled. So guys, I hope that's valuable. I hope that is a lot of information. I hope, and I wanted to go into so many different things. I wanted to diverge into so many different topics. We went on for 40 minutes, which was what I was assuming that we were going to do. 45 minutes, actually. I just lied to myself to make myself feel better. I'm sorry, Mike, right? But I hope that's valuable. Guys, you need to see where you're going. The biggest thing I learned, and it's one of the biggest things I learned in DR at the Chairman Retreat was Matt and Jason said, you must know your 2020. You guys can't come to me and say, I'm going Chairman 100. And then when I ask you, what does your planner look like? And you have nothing, I'm going to ask you, how are you doing it? Because people, when they say I'm going Chairman 100, there's a difference between saying it and saying it confidently because you know what and how and why you're going there. Does that make sense? Guys, even if you're a customer, know your 2020. Know your 2020. Mike and I started filling in random shit. We have weeks in here. P1000 Australia event. We don't have anyone in Australia. Maybe one. I don't know. I don't know. But we put it in there to affirm when we get to that quarter, fuck it. We got to start recruiting in Australia. Right? We have random things in here. Random things. But we planned it with the mindset that every action, every week, every day, we did day by freaking day. This shit took so long. I think it took Mike and I like 3 to 5 days to get that 2020 done because that's how seriously we took it. Because we want Chairman 100 so bad. So bad. Because that's freaking 5,000 people. 5,000 people doing this. Oh my, the trickle effect of 5,000 people? Insane. Like we guys, really take this seriously. I'm begging you. I'm asking you. I don't even need to tell you. I'm telling you. But tell yourself you need to go through this. Answer those 3 questions and read them to yourself every single day. Know what your master goal plan is. And number two on that, believe that shit's done. I'm telling you guys, the moment that shit is written down, it is done. I'm going to do one more example. A lot of you have heard this before, but for everyone that's new, and I invited the ATMs on this as well. For those guys of you who are in here, I love you all. You never heard me give this example before. And then Mike, you're jumping on, I promise. Right? So we always hear, all the top spiritual mentors, write your goal down and it is done. Say it aloud and it is done. But why? Let me give you a simple analogy on why and how I look at goal setting. And it's going to be a little funny. It's a little weird, but it works. It's the most simple way I can think about it. I mentioned it a little bit earlier about having a menu, right? So when you write down a goal, you write it down on a sheet of paper, you think about it, you say it out loud, you ask the universe, you must believe that it is already done. Let me give you the analogy on the reason why I believe it is already done. If we were to go to a restaurant, right? If we were going to a restaurant, let's just say 4 of us were going to a restaurant. We got Pedro, we got Ryan, we got Alana. If us 4 sat down at a table, we went to a restaurant, we opened up the menu, we have an abundance of options to choose from. An abundance of options to choose from. Things we like, things we don't like, things we didn't even know were possible, things we didn't even know that were existed, but we get to choose exactly what we desire in that menu. Of the abundance of different items, we get to choose what we want. So once we choose what we want, it's already written down. We say it out loud to each other. Oh, Alana, I want the scrambled eggs and bacon. Ryan over here is like, nah, give me a burger. Pedro's like, I'm going to take some bananas and some nuts and vegan things, right? That's what's going to happen. Right? So we're all 4 sitting there. We're conversing about what we desire to eat. Now, what happens is the waiter, the waitress, whoever it may be, right, comes up to our table and they say, what do you want to eat? But what they're really saying is, what do you desire? And we tell them it. Not only do we tell that waitress what we want, the waitress writes it down. The waitress writes it down. It's official. It's official. Now, when that waitress leaves the table, we continue our conversation. I don't know how my meal is being made. I don't know who's cooking it. I don't know what's happening. I just know I want what I desire. So 10 minutes goes by, 30 minutes go by, an hour go by. It doesn't matter the time frame. You ever been to a restaurant? Sometimes the food comes really fast and you're like, holy cow, that was fast. Sometimes it takes a long time. You're like, man, this is taking forever. You know why that happens? Most of the time, you have one of those thought processes because the people you're surrounding yourself with. It takes forever because you're not enjoying the conversation, you're bored, you want your food. It happens really fast because you're enjoying the conversation. So whether it comes fast or it comes slow, it doesn't matter, it's coming. You get the point? So here it is. Here's the biggest key part of this. The food only comes if you sit at the table to receive the food. Because what happens? Let's say I'm sitting at that table by myself. And this is a great Platinum 150 example. Let's say I'm in this business by myself. I'm sitting at the table by myself. I'm more likely to leave if the goal is not happening right away. But if I put my table, my 3 customers, my Platinum 150, good analogy here, and I'm at the table, I can't leave. I don't want to leave. Why? Because I am sitting at the table. I'm going to receive that food. I'm going to receive that goal. I'm going to receive whatever it is I desire. And at the same time, I had no clue how the hell it got to the table. I just had to sit long enough to receive it. Some people in this company could be chairman, should have been chairman, but aren't. Some people in this company, I'm not even going to say in this company, they're not in the company anymore. Some people who aren't in the company anymore could have retired their parents, should have retired their parents, but they didn't. Some people in this company could have, should have, would have, but they didn't because they didn't sit at the table long enough. Guys, it's already done. You already wrote it down. You already professed it to whatever you believe in. I don't care. It all works the same to an extent, right? On point conversation for another day. But at the end of the day, you said it. It's happening. You're feeling it. You believe it. And it's coming to your table. Why is having a goal, a desire, any different than getting food? It's not. It's all the same shit. It's all the same shit. I wanted to go to 40 countries. Mike said, fuck it, let's go to 10. Dope. I wanted to go Chairman 50. Mike called me, a bad word and said we're going Chairman 100. I was like, dope. Whatever it may be, it's already done. It is already done. So with that being said, I'm going to let Mike jump on here really quick. I know we have the social media training. I have a lot of cool notes about the social media training before I let Drake just completely take over and blow our minds on how to really just become A1 in Instagram. But I want Mike to jump on here and discuss why events. I'm not just talking about your weekly, your regional. I'm talking about why conventions, why events, why GoPro, why A&MP, why IM conventions, why 10XCon, why events. I wanted Mike to ask this, not because he's my business partner, not because we all love Mike. There's a specific thing that happened to Mike to his first event. It took Mike over 9 months to go Platinum 150. But it wasn't because anything he did different. I mean, Mike was Mike. It was the event Mike went to that completely shifted his paradigm. It completely expanded his brain by ideas. I remember sitting next to Mike, and I believe it was the Atlanta event. It may have been Atlanta that was the first event, if I'm remembering this correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. And I just watching Mike, notes. And then he had this other page with things to accomplish, things to do, application. It was insane. All of a sudden, Mike, when someone was done speaking, he would show me the sheet of paper. It completely changed Mike's life. If that event never happened, none of you would be here. Because I don't know if I would be here. Straight up. I'm just being honest. Why? Family has an 8-figure accounting firm. I'm able to trade by myself. Why would I be here? Mike is the reason why I'm here. That is why Mike is speaking about this. So, Mike, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. I'm going to let you take over, my man. I'm sorry I took the whole hour, but jump on here and give us some sauce.
All right, guys. Let's give it back to Tim. Let's break the Zoom real quick. Just real quick, though. Right? Yeah, y'all know what to do. They're already dropping sevens. Tim, thank you, man. And another thing, guys, if Tim ever tells you that it's going to be an hour long, if he tells you it's going to be 30 minutes, it's going to be an hour. If he tells you it's going to be an hour, it's going to be 2 hours. Just when it comes down to the information he's going to give you, because there's always a lot. Like, there's always so much you want to say. So that's what you're going to start noticing. I'm just going to start spitting out videos to you guys throughout like the day, because I just can't wait to do all these calls all the time. This is just so much to say. But I want to take it back to 2017, October 2017, right? That's when everything shifted for me. It was really important. And it wasn't the Atlanta event. It was the Houston regional with David Immunity. I think he popped like 250 at that convention, at that regional or something. But what happened was this, guys, and this, I'll be a little story to preface like the importance of all these events. It'll make sense to you. But I got started, I think it was November 2016, and I almost didn't get started because I thought it was a pyramid or something like that. And so I just didn't get it. And, obviously it was foreign to me, right? A lot of these things were foreign, just like the market. But because of these things, I started trading a lot. That was my focus. And I was able to flourish because Tim plugged me in with the right resources. And that's exactly why you make money here. I want everyone here to understand the reason you make money as a P150, as P600, as P1000, as P2, P5, Chairman 10 to Chairman 500 is because you are the ultimate plug, right? You're plugging people into the right resources, whether it's through personal development, whether it's through building a business, whether it's through organizational skills like you're learning right now, whether it is plugging them in with the best trading mentors, plugging them in with the trade house, plugging them in with the sniper course. You're getting paid to be the best legal plug possible. And so that is what you get paid for, right? And whether it's you're giving the information like directly or you're giving the information indirectly, because you are the intermediary, you do deserve to get what you do get, right? So what happened is Tim put me in the position to learn when I felt like I capped out at what I was learning as far as technically with the markets, because there were only 3 educators. Then we kind of looked up, and there was other people doing certain things, and so I was always getting fed what I needed and what I wanted, right? And so he was meeting me at the frequency that I was at, and he was helping me go further. And so he invited me to a few different events. I didn't go to the Orlando, like there's a big Orlando event. I didn't go to that. There's one in Atlanta. I didn't go to that. I didn't see the purpose. I was like, dude, there's no point in doing these things. Like, oh, cool, I'm gonna learn from some people that make a lot of money. Cool, that doesn't change anything. That's what I thought, right? So what happens is, I started getting definitely more into the culture. We started the Discord back in, or we started working with the Discord back in like April, that was like April 2017. Super crude, super different than what it is now. But that's when it all began, right? It was almost 3 years ago. And so, we started feeling more connection. I started making money trading, so then it started to get more real for me, right? I started to actually know what I was doing. Obviously, I have blue shits and accounts, all this good stuff. Fast forward, I started making money. Fast forward, this is where, and it's insane, guys. It is insane what happens when you write things down. It is insane what happens when you really know what you want. And you start to sometimes subconsciously manifest things, because I was going through my messages, and weirdly enough, right, on Nancy's birthday, Tim messaged me about how I should go out to Colombia, and this was in 2017, right? And I should go out there for Forex taxes purposes or whatever. But that did end up happening, right? And I didn't even remember that that's a conversation that we had. We also had a conversation about Costa Rica at some point that also ended up happening. Again, didn't remember that was a conversation that we had. But what happens is I start traveling with him, and I start getting close to the fire. Guys, stay close. If this is day 1 or day 100 or day 1,000 of your process, of your progress here with this company as a trader, as an impactor, stay close. Stay super, super, super close, because you'll start to see things that you didn't see before. You might be around, you might be on the calls, but when you're actually close and you're listening and you're physically there, things start to change, because you do start to feel frequencies and see things that you didn't see before. So what happens is Tim and I were like, fuck it, let's go to Costa Rica. All right, so we went for a couple of weeks. I went to El Salvador, and then after that, I met up with Tim again at the Houston Regional. And what happened here was this, right? How many of you, right, if you've never been to an event or a convention, drop a 2 in the chat. Because all the people that are dropping 2s, maybe you're brand new, maybe you couldn't afford it at some point, maybe you weren't around at that point, right? There's a lot of people here that have never experienced what that is, right? And we talk about this so much because it's literally like, it's game-changing information. But the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway is the energy and the frequencies. And on top of that, the belief that increases for you. Because all of a sudden, now you start seeing people from all demographics, men, women, 16-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 80-year-olds, right, at these conventions. But what you see is you start to feel the frequencies, right? You start to feel the frequencies. You start seeing successes, right? You'll run into someone who came from Peru, right? Who went and maxed out all their cards just to get there and just to listen to people speak, right? That moment right there isn't going to make you money, right? That moment in that day, the day you're there, that's not making you money at all. You're making 0 ROI that day, right? But the vision and the energy that gets cemented into you, you're getting infinite ROI. Because what is happening is you're shifting paradigms, right? The things and what you feel, like Tim said, the number one takeaway for him was feeling and belief. And guess what you're going to get at the conventions? The highest level of feeling and belief that exists in anybody here in this company. You get to listen and you get to be around, right, the most affluent people in the company, the people who have the highest level of belief. And the reason they have the highest level of belief and the why you know they have the highest level of belief is because of the results that they have, right? You get to see people who've been to jail multiple times go and smash Chairman 25, right? You get to see people go from P2K, right, to Chairman 100 in a year. Justin Owens, chairman 10 to chairman 100 in a year. You get to feel these things, right? Imagine how you feel at an event that it was amazing, right? Now, imagine this, right? I want you to imagine this. I want you to close it. Because you're gonna fucking get shivers from this, right? Right now, close your eyes, right? Think about the people that you know that have the highest amount of energy that make you feel so good inside, right? Now, imagine that person and multiply that by 10,000 people that have higher frequencies, people that have higher results, people that don't even speak your language, people that have flown thousands of miles to get there, right? That's what you're going to feel for 2 days, 3 days. And not only that, right? Those are from people you don't know. Now think about all of the stories you're going to hear from the people that you've been seeing in the group chats, right? The purpose, the reason why they got there, everything they sacrificed, everything they've invested into just being there, right? Into growing from day one, right? Hearing all of the suffering they've gone through, right? the wise circle that you have and that you will have when you're there, like those are the things that just change everything for you. Because now it's not about you anymore. Like you start to realize and you start to see the shift that this company is making, right? And then you're like, damn, like, okay, I know I can do so much more, but then you start to see, I can help so much more, right? You start to see like, damn, look at all of these people who have just changed. Some of them changed in 2 weeks. Some people got started or went to the conventions before they were even in. So, guys, I mean, I want you to realize, like, when I went to that Houston event in 2017, right, that was what allowed me to understand that this is so much bigger than making money, that this is so much bigger, right? This is a family. Like, this was legit. Like, some of you are closer to the people in your team than the people in your family, right? But because, like, there's just an exchange of frequencies that happen now. And that's the coolest thing you're going to experience. Like, guys, like at these events, you're going to see the people that have been just looking up to you. You're going to meet the people that you've been looking up to. And it's such a shift because presence is so valuable. Like, presence is so valuable. Like ever since that event, I've not missed one event of any kind, right? Like, you start feeling the realness as this is because you're doing so much online, you don't feel that tangible, right? But when you're there, here's what happens. Right? From that Houston event, I haven't missed one event, not just the convention, right? But I haven't missed an ANMP. I haven't missed anything. And the reason is because I got the taste of it, right? I got the taste of what exactly it means and it feels like to be around 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures. Like, when I sat in Christopher Terry's Lamborghini, that's when I was like, nah, this shit's not real no more, right? But the reason I said that was because it was deflection, because that was one of the realest moments I've ever experienced, right? Seeing exactly what is done, like not what can be done, but what has been done, right? Like that's what I'm talking about. So you guys have to realize, like, when you go to these events, it changes the game forever, right? Houston, I mean, I went there and literally after that event, P150, P600 became an educator for the company, right? And like Tim says it, like, I did it and I did it in Spanish. I had nobody who spoke Spanish on this team, right? But it was the right thing to do for something bigger than me, right? It's not about me, it's about we. So those are the big takeaways, guys. Like, it changed the way I was looking at everything. It became less about what can I do for me, but what kind of legacy can I live? What kind of legacy can I leave behind? And so, guys, like, there's no option but to be at London. There's no option. Like, it's just like, it's not whether you're going to be there. It's like, how many people are you going to bring with you, right? How many paradigm shifts do you want to have happen? Because if I was stubborn for 9 months and that one event shifted it, right? And then that allowed me to then see things the right way and work with him and then hit chairman. Then imagine what he can do for you. Now that there's a system, right? Now that there's hundreds and hundreds in this culture, right? Now that you can leverage the people that created the live education who are also now, right, multiple six-figure earners in residual income. Now that you get to work with the people that you get to work with, imagine now what you're capable of doing. Think about that, right? Think about what you are capable. You have to believe it first. And guess what? We made it as easy as fucking possible for you now. Right? We made it as easy as possible for you to even get there. Now you just gotta buy your flight. You don't even have to buy a convention ticket. You just have to buy your flight now. That's it. Like it's that simple. I mean, Tim, I don't know if you want to go into the logistics of how you're gonna get how people are gonna have these free tickets, but guys, like, you do need to understand that so many of you've never felt the level of frequency that you're gonna feel. Right? And that's maybe one of the most difficult parts, because you don't know what's coming. Like you can't actually perceive it because you haven't felt it. Right? Because you've never been around that kind of environment. So this is your chance, right? This is your chance to feel the highest frequencies that some of the highest frequencies out there. This is your chance to really see what is the presence of some of the greats, right, in this industry, of some of the people that you've been listening to, you've been talking to for forever. Right? Because there's one thing to be in face to face like this in this webinar, but when you're standing to the people and you see the posture, right, and you see the conversations, like that's what's going to change the game for you, because there's an energy that's emitted always. So with that being said, guys, like, your belief level goes 10x. The people around you seeing you travel with a purpose goes 10x. Just watch what happens, right? Ask yourself this question. Have I ever led you astray? Because I'm definitely not starting right now. But Tim, break it down for him, bro.
Perfect, Mike. Thank you very much. I think that just reinforces like the realness of just random thought to the purpose of why we're having this call, why we're having this meeting, why we're having this webinar, this training, whatever you want to call it, and why we're doing things. And it was that one event that changed the game forever. And for a lot of you that are on this call, it was the event in Dallas that changed the game forever. You know, maybe you've hit rank, maybe you haven't, but what it did to you changed you forever. And the amount of twos I saw when we asked who hasn't gone was amazing. That's good. That is a good thing, because your first ever event is going to be I Am's official first ever event. And not only is it going to be the first event, it's going to be the first international convention as I Am. Like, massive, huge, insane, crazy. It's exciting. Guys, I get excited every single time. GoPro, for example, this week, I didn't even know who was speaking. I found out who was speaking today. I just bought my tickets, bought the bundle, because I knew it was something that had to be done. It's a place I have to go. You just got to show up. You just got to show up and something's going to happen. I didn't care who was speaking. I just knew I had to be there, because the information that's there, the people that are there, I have to be there. Because remember, there's not just 6, 7, and 8 figure, figure earners in I Am. There's people across the industry, right? They have a whole entire millionaire cabinet. And it's like just hundreds of people in these rows of all people who've made 7 figures in the industry. It's dumb insane, right? So I just showed up. It's the same. Don't ask. Show up. And I really hope this training really put into perspective, not completely the importance of that event, but just this whole entire thing as a whole and where you're going with it. So I only have 4 minutes before I need to drop the link for the next webinar. Then we're about to go off. Probably Drake is going to go off for 2 hours. I don't even know when that webinar is going to end. When Drake's in the mood and he's flowing, he's flowing. You guys are about to get an insane amount of value tonight from Drake. I am so blessed, and we are so blessed. I am so grateful that he is doing this webinar for us, because he's giving the sauce and he's not holding back. So I'm going to drop the link in here. This is myera.com. That is where you can buy the planner. This is the website. It's a great website.
They donate a planner and a school kit when you buy a school kit. So if you buy 4, they donate 4. You buy 1, they donate 1. They put you into Facebook groups if you choose about goal setting, all these different cool things. Go ahead, go look at that website. Go enjoy. So what I'm going to talk about now is the promotions. And there's 2 promotions, and I separated them because I don't want you to be distracted. The first promotion is, this is a big promotion for anyone. This is promotion that is for P6s, P1Ks, P2Ks, P150s. It doesn't matter. Anyone can win this promotion, and this is how you qualify. From December 1st all the way up till whenever these 100 tickets are gone. I don't know how many are left, so I hope you realize there's a massive sense of urgency here, and I'll explain why having a sense of urgency is extremely important in the next promotion. But this is how you qualify. You either rank advance, so from customer to P150, P150 to 6, 6 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 10, you get the point, or you personally sign 10 people within 1 month. You do any of those 2 things, and you already have your flight purchased, and you have an active customer account, you are getting a free general admission ticket to London. No questions asked. You just have to hit the next rank. Angie did this today. Nestor did this today. 2 or 3 other people today. Jelani did this. There was like 4 or 5 people today in the group that got free tickets and didn't even realize it. They just hit rank like December 3rd, December 4th. And they're like, oh shit, I just got a free ticket. Right? It's crazy. Boom. Promotion number 2. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat. Promotion number 2. This is the P150 promo. This starts on December 18th. This is if you hit P150 this week, if you hit P150 December 16th, it does not count. It is for December 18th till when the tickets run out. There is 500 tickets. Matt and Jason dropped $125,000 for this promo. $125,000 for this promo. It is first come, first serve. So if you hit P150 from December 18th beyond, you're good. Now, if you're a customer right now and you have a 3rd person signing, let me give you a little tip and trick. Let me show you how to hack the system, because there is always a way. It is always possible to make things happen in life, right? Do not upgrade to IBO. You have 10 days to place that person. Wait for December 18th, upgrade to IBO, then place the person. Congratulations, you're P150, you now got a free ticket. So if you're about to sign someone in the next, week or so, and you're scared, you don't want to sign them up, no, still sign them up. You got 10 days to place them. Just don't upgrade your account till December 18th. Now you're magically on December 18th, Platinum 150. You guys see how I hacked the system? You guys see how there's a solution there? You guys see how some of you right now are like, oh, Tim, I'm going to do. No. Don't come with me to that. There's always a way. Just start thinking. Use your brain. So how do you qualify? You have to be a new customer of 2019. You have to never hit Platinum 150 before. That's it. Then you're going to get the email. You're going to email your username, your full name, your ID number, your 3 enrolled customers. This information I'm going to share. So don't worry. You don't have to write this down. You don't have to screenshot it. I will get that information to you. I promise you, right? I'll toss it out there. I'll toss it out there. I'll figure out how I'm going to toss it out there. But here's the thing, guys. When Jason and Matt did this promo for I Am Dallas, this is important, then I promise you we're done. When they did this promo for I Am Dallas, 500 tickets were gone within a month. This is when their team was at about 35 to 40,000 people. Their team is now over 70,000. I do not see this promo lasting more than 2 to 3 weeks maximum. That means if the promo starts on the 18th, I expect it to be done by either January 1st or January 8th. Their promo went so fast, over 650 people emailed in within a month, and they had to cut people off because they said only the first 500. Some of this happened to you, and some of you were pissed off, but you didn't have a sense of urgency. Guys, when this promo launches, it is not Christmas. It is not the holidays. It is the 18th of December. Christmas is the 25th. You must go all in. There's a reason why they are doing the promo on that day. There is a reason. Trust me.
because a lot of people, they're going to start seeing who are the customers that are going to go all in to get this ticket when everyone else is sleeping, when everyone else is talking about how they want it, when everyone else is doing what everyone else does things. December 18th is going to be insane. It is going to be insane. We already have trainings ready. Mike and I are already in preparation for planning it. We're going to have a PS3 training. We're going to teach people how to send the video. We're going to teach people how to edify. We're going to teach people how to leverage. I'll have a whole hour training on this. So don't worry. Don't worry. But guys, there's not it's if I'm going, it's how many people am I bringing with. If you already bought your ticket as a customer, still get a free ticket. Give your ticket now to someone else on your team. Sell the ticket to someone else on your team who can't afford the convention but can go for a cheaper price. But go all in, guys. So what I really recommend is take a water break, get a snack break. We have the social media call in 8 minutes. I'm going to upload this video during that call. I'll post it probably a little bit after midnight or sometime after that, or tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, focus heavy on this. Spend this week, make it a priority. You don't have to buy the book. Buy the book if you want, right? Buy the planner if you want. But focus on those topics we talked about. Get it done. At least have it done by the end of the year. Trust me. Guys, if you're not happy, it gets uploaded to Discord and to the Telegrams. If you are not happy with the results that you have gotten from 2010 to 2019, and you want different results from 2020 to 2029, it is only going to change if you change. Remember that. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for staying on this whole entire time. I will see each and every single one of you in 7 minutes. I hope this was valuable. I hope you're able to take this information and run with it. If you guys have any questions, you need any help, Mike or I know we're here to serve. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. See you guys on the next webinar.